Live. Hello everybody, welcome to New Horizons Racing Park. Weather today is looking absolutely fine, probably a little bit of cloud but nothing to worry about on the wet side of things. Not need the 90% rule around the 3.2 or 5.3 kilometre or mile circuit. Tyre strategies, we are looking at 10 laps for the softs, 12 laps on the mediums and 19 laps for the hards. Fastest lap was 124.125 set by Michael Schumacher in 2004, and with it being Australia, we're looking at a very high chance of a safety car. Prizes up for grabs still, £50 PlayStation Network voucher for the champion as well as an engraved trophy, 35 for the third place man. As well, we are offering in Division 2 £20 for the fastest lap award. You guys can still push for that. We do not have anything for pole position, however you guys straight away are going to be racing for points, because in Division 2 we offer 2 points for pole position. I had Pitch Black with me here this evening. Mate, what do you think of Australia, and how do you think Division 2 will compare to last week?
Well, Connor, everyone always says that the first race of the season isn't as big as other ones midway through or near the end in Abu Dhabi, but I gotta say, if you want to see a good expectation for the rest of the season, Albert Park's the best place to do it at. And it's a really good way to see the pace early on from some of the best drivers in this division, so I'm really happy to be here for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm really glad to have you here. Just waiting for people to actually take to the track. No one really coming out the garage and no one's in a rush, which is understandable. I think there is movement.
Ferrari,
movement in the
Ferrari's out.
Ferrari. That would be Dylan who was coming out.
Oh, and another car up front in the Williams, that is Byrne.
There was a Red Bull out as well. Yep, they're all coming out. Is the Williams out on track first? That would be it's Björn. Let's go down and have a look at him.
So he's going to be the first hot lap of today.
Yep. Let's have a look at people's tyre choices as well. A little bit of a mix, but most of the guys opting for the soft tyre, which I think is the right call, even on the chance of an early safety car, because if they do decide it's the wrong tyre for the start of the race, at least they can pull a little bit of a gap to try and get a little bit of track position on the way into the pit lane.
So Connor, what is it about this track that can really make the winners and losers appear today?
The turn 12 chicane. I don't need to say anything else.
Yeah.
Just making sure that you've got a really balanced setup, especially in Sector 1. You want a very soft front end to tackle those, how can I word it, high radius corners, because it's not really flowing through the first sector, it's very stop-start. Second sector is quite flowing, and then you've got a corner, the turn 12 chicane, some of the highest lateral loads on the cars on any part of the calendar. So you really need a stiff back end so it can be caught, but you want a soft front end for the rotation to actually make it through the corner, but not too soft that the rear doesn't catch it and you end up like doing a barrel roll like someone did in Division 1 last week.
First top lap of Byrne right now, just went through turn 1 and 2, down the straightaway, on the hairpin.
Yep, I'm very well taken now. Oh, yellow flag sector 3, I think that's just someone going a bit slowly to sort the setup out.
Okay, so far so good. Goes up to the next turn, very smooth. Yeah, if you want a good lap around Austria, smoothness is probably the one thing that every person will need. Such a flowing track around here, you can't take it in an aggressive style. You gotta work with the car around some of these turns, especially the one coming up right now.
I think with Australia, you need to be a little bit respectful of the track limits, because it's a very classic style street circuit where even if you put one tyre onto the grass and the barriers are very unforgiving. You're either going to spin, lose damage, or lose a hell of a lot of time. But I said it last week, I still think Australia, it's a decent track. It's almost a proper old school
I think it's
circuit.
amazing.
Yeah, I just don't. I know that the
For a
racing
first
is
time.
never really the best, but it's all right. It's not the worst track on the calendar, especially for a street circuit. I think it's all right.
So Burn hits a 122.8. Of
Yeah.
course, first lap's going out, so I feel it'll be the fastest time we see today.
It might
Dylan
be
was kind of a mistake.
Dylan. I know he's on the mediums, but almost 2 seconds down. Who was in the Williams? No,
Well,
that's an AlphaTauri.
there we
Nick
go.
Figgy.
Fastest.
Oh no!
Dylan. Oh,
Yep.
Burns in the wall.
Yep.
He was pushing a bit too hard in his in lap.
Yeah, I just caught that. I hope that was a decent lap from him. I mean, he won 22.
I mean,
you
in
For-
Division
for-
1, we were seeing 119s, so...
Yeah, but with Division 2, I wouldn't expect anyone to go
Yeah.
any faster than the 121s. Oh, Carp's disqualified from facing the wrong way. I believe that's his McLaren. He's gone for a spin at the chicane, and he hasn't got it pointing back in the right direction as quick. Real shame for him.
Too bad for Carps, don't get a lap in today, but we were able to start on the medium tires come
Yeah.
the race.
Even though we're getting
I
Twonk
said to be
and
looking at
Sverre.
low 21s for pole this lap, maybe even the 20s, I'd say. So far, Severin has the fastest time, the 121.8, very good lap.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect these guys to go any faster than probably a 121 flat.
Strangely enough, a few drivers still not heading out, as I say that Charlie is on his way out.
Yeah, I believe that's the AlphaTauri pair. James coming to the line, he's 4 tenths up on his previous best. He goes P3. Not a bad time on the medium tyres, that. 22.6. Oh, I love this. There's barely tenths between them.
Yep, first and second place, together by about 1.5 tenths.
That's a Red Bull.
So, some drivers staying in early, what's the strategy behind that, you think?
Tyre saving. You either want to come out, set one really good lap on the softs, or use up all of your
saying-
tyres to try and get sort of track position even in quali, just to get onto the grid.
So you mean like clean air? Is that what you mean?
No, not clean air, just pure tyres. Like, the less tyres you use in qualifying, the more spare sets you have for the race. So even if there's safety cars, the less tyres you use, I mean, you're going to want them as fresh as you can, so as little running as you can do on them, the better. I believe the guys who are actually in the garage, I'm assuming they're all going to be on the soft tyres, and if there are safety cars, we don't know how many they're going to get. Still got hards, mediums, but what they're really going to want is a mountain of softs.
Yeah. Of course, Australia, one of those tracks where a 2-stop and 1-stop not far apart in time. Of course, most likely going to be seeing a 2-stop strategy come the race involving safety cars, but you never know.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe the medium tire runners will get an advantage come the race.
yeah. At least I think I've worked it out. If there's a safety car within the first 7 laps, then there shouldn't. Anyone on the mediums would not need to pit, because the tyre life for the mediums is 12 laps, and if there's a safety car early on, they could probably push them 15 laps at most. But yeah, I was saying the race distance will be 29 laps, and the
Currently on board with Rise doing the top lap.
softs can easily do 12? No. Softs can do 10 easily. If you're riding on board a race, you're watching the McLaren,
Yes.
aren't you? Yeah, if you want
Yeah, he's had a tough first sector.
Yeah,
Seeing
if you want to
clawbacks
commentate
sometime.
over his, I will try and look at the comments that are appearing in our comment section, because I don't actually
great
have any
comments.
way. Yeah, I don't actually have a way to
Yeah.
look at them at the moment.
Rise really messy lap. Hopefully, you can cross some time back in the last sector, going down turn 12 chicane. Rather smooth through it, Nice job. As Charlie's back in the pit lane, didn't like his lap. So now Rise coming up against the last turn, pushing as hard as he can, and his best time will be a... Ah, so nice, a 123.6, puts him around the mid-pack, but on soft tires, which could play to his advantage come the race with the safety car. Now on board with Infinity, just passing sector 1.
Yeah, right on board with Infinity now.
Rather smooth so far from the lap.
Ooh, yellow flag, that's a Mercedes, going slowly. Collins, his car's okay, he's just going a little bit slow.
Yeah, someone's out lap right now. Oh, Twang hit the grass a bit. But staying on board with Infinity. Coming down the back straight now. Down to 4th gear. Then get all the way around. Down 1 gear, left it. Back go again. Then go into the slowest turns in the track. Try to get it turned in. Don't lose your traction. Around the last corner, hold it in. It should be a good lap for Infinity.
Not going to be the quickest, but I think it's going to be a respectable time. 123.2. Because that was just improved. Xanax Josh putting his Mercedes up into P3. Beautiful time.
Twonk also getting his time up there. Only improving by minimal hundreds, but an improvement nonetheless. As Raceway goes fast, this is the 121.8. Only 2 hundredths off Siberin. Siberin, however you say it.
Sferin.
Not even gonna try to pronounce that.
Now, who's about to start a lap? No, James has decided he wants... Well, he's probably going to be going to the softs. Who's that about to cross the line? Collins. Yep, he is on a time lap. Hasn't set a time yet. Let's see where he can place that. Mercedes, only P7.
Still a good time.
He's invalidated his lap, so he's going to need to go around again. Yes. It's Raceway going slowly to get out of the way. Where someone's improved, and I didn't even catch who it was. It may have been Dylan in P5. There's one of the McLaren on the way back to the pits. I'm going to see for the second week in a row a Racing Point doing a barrel roll. Not yet.
So James is on medium tires.
Yeah, I'm riding on board with Charlie. He is on a time lapse, coming through the second sector.
And his teammate's actually behind them. Must have maybe given him a slipstream or something.
Yeah, his teammate's already given him. Well, he's already set a time. Twonk with the 121.9.
Yes. But he's on his outlap, so once Charlie's done that main straight, he's gonna slow down. Twonk's gonna get a nice amount of slipstream, and that'll hopefully help him through the lap.
These guys are more than capable of working together effectively. They've been doing it a hell of a lot in the 5-lap lobbies. Where's he going to go? Only P6.
Sixth.
He's got easily more time to find in there, and he's just invalidated. He's... Oh,
yeah, but now if you look at Twonk, look at, he's backed off a little bit, still slid now, slipstream.
I'll ride on board with him until next sector to see if Twonk is still pushing somewhat.
I mean, he's on his flying lap.
Yeah, I want to see if he's actually improving.
So is Collins.
Marginally. Too fair,
well, it comes down to this.
The thing is, he only needs to improve by 1/10, and he's got pole. And he's just invalidated
really close,
it.
top 3.
It's both Red Bulls on invalid laps. There's a Mercedes of Xenex Josh on an out lap. There's further down the order, DXS actually still... Nope, he is on a out lap. I need to keep track of who's that Merc about to start a lap. Collins. I hope he's got enough fuel so he can go for another one. Nope, he's coming in.
So,
He has to be really
strangely
quick.
enough, DXS hasn't set a lap time yet. I don't know if it's just invalidations or what, but it seems
It might
that
not
he
be.
hasn't.
If you want to ride... Oh my god, there's something happening in that pit lane. Looks like Twonk may have crashed into the pit entry. Yeah, if you want to ride on board with DXS...
Yeah, he's just on his out lap now on
Yeah.
the soft tires.
Just let me know if you think he's struggling or what's really happening. Is he just left it too late or has he been struggling? I'm riding on board
Well,
with
it's gonna be
Xenex
his last
Josh,
lap.
who has now started his time lap.
DXS down the final corner. His final hot lap.
He should have only just started it. I know that everyone on track now, they're either on time laps or flying laps. I know that as soon as those Ferraris come around, that we need to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, so far a really nice spin lap by DXS. Of course, preseason race winner last time around.
Yeah, he's a severely underrated guy. He hasn't even been active in the Discord server that much, but I was very surprised at his pace in pre-season. Yeah, Josh has taken the as Apex is really nice. The car's incredibly stable. It's not like it's not squirming as much, if you know what I mean, when it's coming out of a corner. And he has absolutely smashed the pole position time, 121.1. But it's not over yet. The Red Bull pair
coming on the final corner. Wait, DXS had a good lap.
Sorry, I'm really sorry about the epileptic seizure. No, that lap was invalidated.
Oh. Validation. He's gonna have one more chance to do it.
Yeah, this is it. He should know that this is it. It's not like he can do anything about his own ERS. I believe, yeah, that would be Spherian. Everyone's on a outlap. I'm just gonna run. No, Dylan's even invalidated his lap. There's a Mercedes. Oh no.
Rise.
Yeah, Reese spinning it at the chicane, I believe. That may have actually been Josh having a spot of bother. Infinity's retired.
I believe it's just a session tendon.
No, they're actually crashing on track. There's a mountain of yellow flags. I know what they've done, because where they've actually crashed. The problem I have is I don't know who to ride on board with. I've got so many people on different stages of the laps. I'm on board with James Killer, currently P8 for AlphaTauri. Only just got the game about last week, so he's been absolutely sweating it. So I really want to see where he can go. Is he? Yeah, oh P2, brilliant time.
Wow.
No, let's have. Oh, DXS has came into the pits.
Yeah, he gave up on his lap. He's gonna.
Charlie coming across the line. Will he be able to set a lap? He should do. It's a little glitch in this game where if you're on track when the checkered flag falls, you can still set a lap. And that should be Raceway starting his lap as well. Let's have a look. Reese, where can he place the McLaren? Doesn't improve. So everyone is finishing the laps now. Where's Collins going to go? Collins does not improve. He stays P6. Right, Spherian, come around the final corner.
Spherian. No ERS left though.
and it's cost him. Goes quicker.
Raceway
but
is invalidated.
Only by 1 place. I believe that was Twonk who just came across the line. He stays P5. So who are we waiting on? Waiting on Charlie, going 3/10 faster at the minute. Whether that will be enough for pole position, I don't know.
Well, he's definitely pushing, that's for sure.
Yep, I think
around the final corner.
Maybe the best he can only really do is out-qualify his teammate.
Ooh,
oh, he does more than that. Straight up into 4th.
Very nice.
Have you noticed like how little tenths everyone's separated by?
Yeah, I think the first place to 6th are all inside 1 second.
Yeah. Raceway has actually invalidated his lap, so yeah. He's going to come to the pits. Raceway, if you're watching, if you could just retire your car immediately, that way we won't have to wait for your car to be wheeled back into the garage. And unless if everyone's done the same, retire your cars. Cheers for that, buddy. Nice. That was a little bit intense, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so things to go away from this session. Xenex, very strong performance next to James. A lot of people showing what they got. Charlie, always impressive as usual, P4. Strangely enough, DXS hasn't set a lap time.
I think he was struggling with track limits. Any time he went out late in the session, he was just invalidating it. However, Xenex Josh, P1 for Mercedes, is the first person to put points on the board. It'll be 2 points going to him.
As usual, Mercedes coming out of the season with the most points.
And usually, like Mercedes, his teammate bottling it, but a little bit further down than he'd probably want. I have to say, I really underestimated the Constructors fight in Division 2 this season.
But yeah, it seems really spread out right now. I'm glad to see what they have come this race. Especially from DXS, it's going to be starting really far back, with most likely the medium tires.
So, who would you put your bets on? Who's going to bin it first?
Oh, bin it? Okay. Well, never like to wish stuff on people, but if I had to do it, I'm so sorry. I'd have to say Infinity, because he's starting at the back and it's really hard to get through traffic on the first sector, and that's usually where most safety cars come from.
Yeah, unless we have a similar issue in Spain where they barely get off the grid without causing a pile-up. Ninja joining, he will be spectating. I believe he's actually coaching someone on the grid. Right, let's have a full grid rundown. Xenex Josh, then P1 for Mercedes, taking the first 2 points of Season 4 in Division 2. James Killer, P2 for AlphaTauri. Not a bad job considering he's had the game for less than a week. Sverin, his Nhrl debut, P3 for Racing Point. The highest placed Red Bull of Charlie in P4. Raceway, I believe, I don't know why, that gamer tag looks quite familiar. I may have raced against him somewhere before, but I'm happy he's here, and putting Renner into P5. Twonk putting P6 in for Red Bull. H. Collins, the system work, all the way down in 7th. I'd like to think he has the pace to overtake these guys, but I think Harley does know a thing or two about strategy. Dylan, the Ferrari, not as good as qualifying as I believe he did in Division 1 as a reserve. There's Nick Figgy actually disqualified there.
What happened there?
But DXS and Reese, I believe someone, either Dylan or Nick Figgy, actually slammed on the brakes and they've all piled into each other. Just saying, if anyone would actually like that looking at, causing formation lap collisions is actually a penalisable offence.
So already disqualified from the session.
Yeah, it would be a reprimand because it can affect people's starts with them not getting the tyres up to temperature. But it's Björn. I'm aware he's actually left the session, but his car is in AI. So that's going to cause me a little bit of a headache. Infinity down in P11, the sole Alfa Romeo. I hope she can work something with the alternate strategy starting on the mediums. Reese 17 down in P12, the sister Ferrari, not a great qualifying for either of them, but still within a very good chance of getting some points. And not managing to set a lap in early on, Carps down in 15th, really paying the price, as is his sister and brother McLaren. Right, here we go, the lights are on. 5 red lights.
Oh, and what was that? Oh.
Oh no, there's a collision at the back. I'm just waiting for... Oh no, there's reason for jump start. That's a very confusing start.
Anyway,
yeah.
It's lights out.
Yep, lights out and away we go. And it's a very good start from the Renault. And there's a wing damage to, I believe that was a Red Bull or AlphaTauri. Yeah, it's incredibly close here in the midfield. Position changing all over. I've just seen another bit of debris go flying off. Infinity and Björn all the way down at the back. Carp's having a decent start, up 4 places, but Reese, with all the carnage at the start, has managed to grab his Ferrari up from P12 all the way up into P5. The Raceway, they're having a very good start. Lightning reactions at line, he's up into second already. He's going to start managing the gaps, and we need a battle to ride on board with. Let's ride on board with Charlie, who is all over James for P3.
Charlie getting a rather neutral start, not getting jumped.
Oh, James is already going for a move on Raceway for P2.
Somebody's
Raceway
off.
covers the inside.
Infinity is off, I called it. And Piggy's off. Oh,
yeah, Piggy facing the wrong way. Just spin that round, mate. You can still keep going.
Yeah, so no safety car, luckily.
Not yet. I believe they're
Piggy again unlucky.
A little bit of squabbling there between, well, the battle for second, as Charlie is now trying to have a run on Raceway.
Another yellow flag somewhere.
Yeah, that would be Nick Piggy. I believe he's having a spot of bother at the back of the grid. Charlie diving down the inside into turn 3, actually making the move stick. Kept Raceway napping a little bit there, and now he's got to fend off James. Yeah,
so at the start, I believe that Figgy got into contact with Infinity in turn 12, and that sent him spinning around. And lost his whole front wing, but he's still in the race, and he just got out of the pit lane now, so if there's a safety car, he can really get back into this.
Yeah, if anyone does have anything to say or they want anything looking at, please send it into the instance chat on Discord
Collins.
after the race.
Oh, Collins!
No, they came together. Dylan and Collins have came together. I didn't have a very good camera angle. I didn't see whose fault that was.
I believe that was... I don't know, it looked close. They both almost came into each other and both exchanged the wall.
It may well have been a racing incident where neither driver was spatially aware. There's... the AI of the Williams was being spun around. Actually, I don't actually believe his AI. Yeah, VSC, that's called the virtual safety car. I don't believe anyone's actually...
Driver's wing damage.
Yeah, driver's wing damage will be boxing. Both McLaren... is that both McLarens? No, Carps is staying out.
And meanwhile, Charlie got re-overtaken by Raceway.
Oh, Charlie, drive-through penalty!
No,
Speeding under the VSC, that's going to really ruin his race. I have to say though...
really wanted to stay up with him.
Yeah, he's got a really good run on Raceway coming into turn 5. Not enough space to make the move this time round.
Gonna need to push.
Yeah, they are literally pushing each other. Chucks up the inside, Racer trying to hang it around the outside, then taking themselves to the grass. I have to say, I believe that was Raceway in the wrong. He shouldn't have tried sticking his nose up there. That gap was always going to disappear. Very lucky that I don't believe either car has actually got damage. May have actually escaped a penalty there.
Xanax with the best start possible, getting into no collisions whatsoever, and he has a 3-second lead in front of James.
Yes, because everyone else behind him, they're just scrapping. But look at DXS though, literally from last. It's absolutely brilliant. Saying, oh, that's Nhrl, fastest lap 126.
Enough, so
has he already made a stop?
Yeah.
With the hards, they can actually go at least 19 laps. There is a Mercedes in the wall. I believe Collins has tried to do some drifting of some kind through the turn 12 chicane. Reese keeps getting, yeah. You need to hit your brakes a little bit sooner, mate. It's a bit disturbing that you've got this many 5-second penalties.
So, in terms of start position gains, Stern up by 1 position, James down by 1. DXS up by 10 positions, crazy start by him. Raceway neutral, Carbs up by 9, Infinity up by 4, It's Burn up by 2, I believe if not his AI. Charlie, unfortunately, Antoine, both Red Bulls, down 4 and 5 positions. And Nick Figgy and Collins both losing more than 5 positions on that start, with Figgy 20 seconds behind. As Figgy's retired from this session.
Yeah, at least I believe he has retired in the pit lane. Unlucky Nick. Least you can do is get your head down. What was I going to say? Bahrain next week, that's it.
Oh, as Collins and Rise, a little bit of argy-bargy there. Rise keeps position.
DXS, fastest lap on the hard tyres.
Mega pace.
25.9. I'm watching the battle for P3 at the minute. James and Sverin are going wheel to wheel.
Nice battle right there.
That's fairly clean battle. Very mature overtake from someone who's not been playing F1 for that long. I'll let those two battle. I want to see the fight for P6 between Infinity and Carps. So you get hit wide on the curb, that's going to allow Carps to shoot off down the road a little bit. Charlie, has Charlie served his drive-through?
Yes, he has. Yeah. Is now in 9th place, trying to fight back.
Yeah, this will be a good indicator for me, because we do have a higher AI difficulty for this reason. He's behind. It's behind.
Wing damage. Wing damage. He lost an end plate.
Yeah.
That's the worst wing damage. Just wing damage.
I still believe he is in AI. I've not seen him actually came in to try and retake control of his car. But
well, I mean, it doesn't seem like an AI behavior to drive and defend like that.
I think it is, considering it's hard. Well, we have our AI difficulty set to hard, so it's going to put up a little bit of a fight.
Raceways in the pits. It is around, what do you say is around the time that pit stops will start happening, if you haven't already pitted?
I'm not expecting anyone's pit window to open until at least lap 10.
Yeah, I'd say lap 10 too. And it's Raceways in
hard tyres for Charlie. I'm going to head back up to battle for P3, so let me know if there's any more fights happening behind. I also want to try and get the most high profile battles.
Yeah, both keeping pace right now. Charlie's in the pits, be on the hard tires, that's already 2 pit stops for Charlie.
Can't go wrong with this helicopter shot. Absolutely brilliant.
I always love the helicopter shots.
He's staying with him. Both racing points actually doing a solid job. P3 and P4 for the pair of them.
Yeah, and DXS, believe it or not, started on the hard tires. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and it seems to be working really well for him. He stayed out of trouble. He's picking up the pieces of everyone else's misfortune, and this is what happens if you can keep your nose clean. I mean, even yeah, the pit window open for the hards now. That is if it is the two-stop strategy, but you could probably overcut on them, take them to lap 20, bang on the softs to the end, grab the fastest lap point at the same time.
Yeah, Twonk's around the back of Raceway. He's going to be down the back straight, and Twonk's will try it.
Around board with them, battle's a little bit stagnant. Fight for P3.
Twonk has a good run. But no, they try to end next DRS zone, really close.
Oh, get that car off the curb.
He's gonna try it. Twonk on mediums, Raceway on softs.
Running goes the other.
On the inside. Very nice overtake.
It's like maybe would you be thinking that the softs are hitting the
dying out now?
Yeah.
This is around the time when the mediums are faster than the softs in single lap pace.
All of this, we always just have to work our way downwards because Reese is behind the Ferrari of Dylan, trying to scrap for the final points paying position. But with those softs, you can see that he's struggling to keep it on the track, but Dylan's doing a little bit of the same.
Man, so the 4th and 5th place people both up by 10 places.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. If there was like a team of the race, or like, you know, a driver of the day, like team or something, definitely racing point at this time.
Well, I'm sure you've I don't know if you've heard it, but if you remember Michael Schumacher saying a quote, in order to finish first you must finish, right?
Yeah, that kind of is a bog standard thing of racing.
And that's what you're seeing with Xanax and James and Stern and DXS, all just keeping their noises clean, not getting into contact, and they're all in contention for podium places. With the Carps 19 seconds behind.
Yeah, I just saw that Raceway is getting a little bit out of shape going through turn 4.
Burns 2 seconds behind. I thought I'm tenths, sorry. I got 2 tenths.
Yeah, either way, this is going to be a DRS train. I'm trying to see if DXS, if he's actually catching up. I want to see that 3-second gap come down. No need to, James is into the box. It is the pit window for the soft tyres. A little bit of an undercut, but you don't know what can happen through there. I just want to ride on board with anyone who's going for the turn 12 chicane, in case there's someone's going to bottom it.
James is on the hards to the end.
Yep.
Xanax up.
And it's a fairly safe strategy call, if I have to say so, because even if there is a safety car, they won't need to pit.
So, Force India, Racing Point, up to first and second.
I need to have a look at their tyres.
Twonk's making an overtake around the outside of a Williams. Oh, and
Williams
the Williams and Twonk's around,
no!
And Raceway collects the Williams. Oh, that's not gonna look good.
I may need to double check with Björn with his commitment to the league at the minute, because I've just seen a few more messages. Yeah, Infinity is retired. I don't know where that is.
Oh, he was in 6th. No. Oh, he's in the wall. It's a safety car.
Yeah, full course safety car.
That means Stern's gonna have the lead. Because he's gonna pit under safety car while the other guys pitted.
Yeah, not necessarily. He's DXS. He's close enough behind him. All Svern has to do now is get rid of those softs, put the hards on. He can definitely go to the end, I think.
But a change of the race.
Personally, this is probably really screwed over is Xanax. She's got fresh softs.
Sucks for Xanax, who's on the lead.
James, he doesn't need to stay. This has happened at his pit window. Yeah,
so
anyone on the softs.
Wait, oh yeah, because Stern came
he's on. He hasn't actually pitted yet. He can go until lap 20 with those hards. They're only about halfway.
Yeah, and he can't fit for hard tires either, because he already has them on. Interesting. So the goal for DXS, I would say, is to keep his position at the start of the race and try to hold it until around nearest pit window, and that'll give him the best chance to pit and gain back up with his new setup. I believe medium or soft tires.
Yeah.
As Svern actually comes out behind Zenek, so lucky for him. He just got away with it.
At least everyone was able to pit for repairs. Most of the guys on fresh softs. For fresh softs, I mean hards. I believe the guys on the mediums, they can go.
Wait a second.
You could go a little
Wait,
bit
Zenek's
further.
pitted for the soft tires.
Yep, Zenek.
Meaning he's
on
gonna do
fresh
the
softs.
stop.
Yep,
That
he
is
has
gonna be a
to.
two-stop race for him.
What tyres did
Which
he
could
start on?
bring
Did he
DXS
start on?
back in the race.
He started on the softs though, didn't he?
Yes. So he's committed to a two-stop.
Yeah, he has to go mediums, at least.
Very interesting. So what DXS has to do is he wants to hold Zenex behind on his new soft tires until he pits. And remember, he pits early.
Zenex is in. I mean, DSX.
So
sorry.
Zenex gains the lead on soft tires. That's really good. He's gonna want to push and make a
DXS
gap.
5-second penalty for pit lane speeding.
Oh, that's not really good.
Is anyone else at the back going to come into the pits? He's gone for the softs. Mate, I wouldn't have done that. You can go about 10
If
laps
he
on
brings
them.
him to the end, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Oh no, he definitely won't. The softs will last about 10 laps. So he has to stop again, be it for softs or
Not gonna
mediums.
lie, Connor. Not gonna lie, I've seen it. I've seen a guy manage to manage his softs, bring him from 0 to 90 and finish the race in P3.
Really?
I'm telling you, I've seen it.
Really, what planet
Again,
was
it was
that
in the
on?
2019 game. 2019.
Yeah, but that's
hey, you never
probably
know.
why then. The tyre wear on this game is absolutely horrific. Yeah, it's the tyre degradation on this game is absolutely ridiculous. While I'm here, might as well have a look at the biggest winners and losers after all of this chaotic racing, as soon as I remember where it is. At this point, Carp's the best person, up 10 places, itchy the back of the grid into P5. DSX still doing very well. Raceway, Twang not having the best of days, but I mean, fair play to them, not really down to their own fault. I'm just happy that Zenex has actually inherited the lead, because I still think the fight for the win is going to be between DXS and Josh.
Another two unfortunate losers, Infinity and Figgy.
Safety car
just
in
a
this
horrible
lap
start.
already. That was a very quick safety car period.
Very nice. So yeah, Infinity unfortunately just had a good lead in 6th place, and just couldn't.
Oh, dear.
Rise.
Right, anyone who is going to get 5-second penalties beyond safety car, if send footage in, we can remove them at the end of the race.
Oh, someone's almost lost the rear.
Subject to
DXS.
steward's inquiry, but don't worry about it. Those penalties will be removed in good time.
Okay,
Right now we're back
in.
to green flag racing.
James has a run.
Yeah, right on
He's
board
gonna
with
try
him.
it. No.
Nope, too far back on this occasion.
Zenex, a great start off the line. That's exactly what he wanted. Okay, turn 3. No contact. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, very clean racing from everyone at that restart. And Josh already setting
well,
purple
McLaren
sectors.
struggles.
He's going to be on his way to the fastest lap. Who do we ride on board with? Might as well ride on board with Raceway. See what's happening in the midfield.
The Exeter behind Collins.
Yep.
He's gonna try it.
I just
Oh,
hope
he's gonna
Collins
take
will be a little bit
No,
more
he's gonna try
spatially
it.
aware.
You know him.
No. I mean, I do believe he would, but you need to remember
feels like-
sometime who
And
you're
that's
actually
for the
racing
Williams.
against.
Oh, big crash. Big crash. Virtual safety car. Rise and Burn come into contact. Rise is out of the race. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Since he is retarding track, the only thing I hope is that that car actually gets off the track. Ooh,
Yeah,
Dylan,
it's a
5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag.
So penalties. Let's see the penalties that currently are applied to drivers in this race. So Byrne has a few warnings.
Back to green flag, by the way, and Collins already having a look at Charlie. Yeah, oh my, I don't know if there was contact between Carps and Raceway there, but yeah, something happened there coming through turns 1 and 2. Collins in sheer desperation trying to stay in front of the racing point. Come on, man.
Oh! Jesus Christ, did you see that?
Beautiful
DXS around the outside.
Collins pushing too hard, he's just losing his momentum. He doesn't know where that car wants to go.
That's probably the highlight of the race right there. Cleanly around the outside. Very nice move.
Yeah, he literally has the podium in his sights now, but he will have to stop again. Just thinking, will it be enough for him? I think he's almost hands-on for a podium as Charlie loses the back end there. Owen just saves it from going into the barrier. Yeah, with consistency like this, well, no Carps. BSC again.
Oh, and it's turn 12. We had to see one, at least since it's turn 12 today. Ruthless corner.
Shame everyone's a little bit spread out at the back, so I don't have a visual on what everyone's doing. I'm assuming it's the typical crashes, incidents that you'd see at the turn 12 chicane.
No, it's the classic Australia crash site. At end of turn 12 and 13, clipping the grass into the barricade. You know it. Plunk's coming around now. You'll see it.
Yeah.
If he does not disappear in time.
No, the car has gone. I might see a front wing or two.
Yeah, but basically hit the grass on the outside.
The damage is gone there.
Okay, so.
Oh, James drive-through penalty. VSC speeding.
James are coming quick. How unfortunate for James. He was doing so good this whole race.
Yeah, you could say that for about half the grid.
Yeah.
I imagine only a few small swear words will be going through that cockpit. And probably a few more after he's got that penalty. Yep, DSX.
Oh, DXS down the inside. Very nice.
Oh, a little tiny bit deep, but manages to keep it in front. And James has got Charlie behind him now. I mean, even with Charlie having a drive-through early on, or some kind of penalty earlier, he is keeping it. He's keeping Red Bull competitive in the race. It's a huge shame that what's actually happened with Twonk, his teammate. Both of them should be higher up than they already are. But I'm aware that with Twonk, his race, it's just
on his
bad
teammate.
luck. Yep, he's going to be...
and he's in P2.
Not sure if these two are playing team orders. I don't believe they actually know each other, but they're doing a really good job.
Either way, he's in P2 now on those soft tires. Just to pull a gap and hopefully maybe try an overcut on Xenex if possible.
Yeah, right on board with Collins. Believe it or not, I think Collins and Charlie is actually the closest battle on track at the minute. Collins is on the medium still. Is he still on those mediums before the
Charlie
safety car?
Byrne are the closest battle on track.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like milliseconds that are separating people at this point. But I'll ride on board with Charlie then, see if he can catch up to the racing point.
Yeah, Spurn's having a tough time on those hards. But he will be going to the end, so he's going to be a threat for the podium if they both pick. Which they have to, so no if on that. Xenex fastest lap. He's really pushing, trying to make that gap.
Yep. What is the gap between that fastest lap? If you could just look at it for me, I'm riding on board with Charlie. Hopefully trying to make a move on Sparian at some time.
The gap between DXS and Xenix.
No, what the fastest laps were, if there's a gap between them.
Okay, I'll try to find it. How?
Charlie eating away at Sverren there. He's getting a really good run. Will it go wheel to wheel? No, but he just needs to stay close enough, especially for the turn 12 chicane. If you're going to get any hope of a decent run with DRS, which he does have, but his ERS is so low. He needs to pretty much only use it for the main straight.
Yeah, and Sverren 8%. That is not going to help playing Charlie, who's
to be fair, both of them, Sverren and Charlie, they're both on pretty much the same amount of ERS.
Yeah, the way Charlie's
Charlie's using overtake to catch, and Sverren's using overtake to defend. Charlie does have DRS, that should be a job done. Oh no, Sverren gives him a little love tap on the exit, no damage between the two, Charlie's still maintaining DRS.
And he has position. Great
job done, back into the podium. Great racecraft between the two, I'll give them that.
Yeah, a lot of good fights today. And other not so good ones, but mostly pretty good. So, closest battle is...
Still Sverren and Charlie.
Yeah, but Charlie's gonna pull away, I believe.
Who have we not given that much airtime to that we can watch? I want to ride on board with Reese and McLaren.
No.
Just to see how he's going on those hard tyres.
Kind of a quiet race by him.
I mean, both the McLarens, they didn't have a good qualifying by any standard, but Reese is the only McLaren running now, and he isn't the point, so...
Yeah, up 6 places.
You got to kind of take these small victories as and when you can, and try and stay competitive. A very long season ahead, the full 22 races, the longest calendar Division 2 has ever had. Back in F1 machinery since the 2018 game cycle.
Yeah.
So far,
Connor, I just want you to hear this right now. If DXS wins the race, you would win the race gaining 13 positions.
Well, I think he's going to get driver of the day already, but because of the strategy that Josh and DXS have, I know that they're both going to be, well, yeah, they are going to be on the same strategy, but it's the track position that's going to really come into play, because both of them, when they do pit, they've got a bit of a gap, but they're still going to come back out into traffic.
Yeah, Sverren actually keeping pace with Charlie, both on the hard tires. Charlie can threaten maybe for a possible win. Well, since they're both on soft tires up in front, Charlie, if he keeps his pace, could have a chance of winning this race.
It's a shame really, because I think actually 7 drivers that we have still running in the race could actually get a podium if there's another safety car and everyone's bunched up. We've got a very competitive grid in Division 2. Going to ride back up on board with Sverren and Charlie just because they are the closest battle on track.
Keeping pace.
I mean, Dylan not doing too bad either, down in P8 for Ferrari. Not having the best races, and Josh is into the box. Race leader into the pits. Will he have any wing change? Not even a penalty, just fresh mediums going on to the Mercedes.
Always pulling the trigger, so DXS
I was going to say he could have gone softs, but he needs that other tyre to choose. It's push time now for DXS. I want to see how quickly he can get around the track, how much of a gap he can pull out. Clear track ahead, still soft tyres, life left in the soft tyres. He gets a 3-second penalty. Understeering as if he's got some kind of wing damage.
Well, going on board with him doesn't seem
just watch. I don't know if it was like some kind of lockup.
Oh
no, Collins
is off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, safety car. Perfect time for DXS. They will have.
And DXS is gonna get the.
Yep.
I feel bad.
They will have a delta to. Oh my god. No, Reese, I will remove that penalty because Collins is out of the race. That's, remind me, I believe that's actually 2 penalties we need to look at removing.
Absolutely screwed by the safety car there.
I
And
don't know,
DXS could have a
because...
chance to win the race now.
Yeah, but they are still under a safety car delta. They can't push as much. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a cheap stop. But...
He's going to go on the soft tires
point being,
now.
DXS, he will still come out in traffic. And I just want to see if he will serve his... I'm aware that he had some kind of 5-second penalty early on. Charlie, man, what are you doing? Right, that is a 5-second penalty. Even if people do serve the 5 seconds in the pit lane, we can still remove them at the end of the race. But I believe that was a collision behind the previous safety car. Yeah, I just want to remind people we can get these penalties removed. Severin back out into P1.
And he's out in third, right behind Zenith.
That 5 seconds has cost him track position to Josh.
And Svern is still out behind that safety car on the hard tires.
Yeah.
You think he'll pit, or will he try to keep it out till the end of the race?
No, those hards can go to the end. If he pits, it will be down to him. I mean, Dylan choosing a very wise choice. He's up into P5. He's taking those hards to the end. If anyone does have a fresh set of softs, they can go to the end. But most of the guys opting for the mediums.
So, looking at the tire stats right now, Svern with 10 lap old hards, Dylan with also 10 lap old hards, and Twonk with 8 lap old hards, but he's in the pits for instead of tires. Everyone else on 0 lap old tires, all pitting in their safety car.
Yep, it's going to be an absolute sprint to the end of the race, and I tell you what, fastest lap still is up for grabs. It depends who wants that extra point. At the minute, it is going to DXS.
I'd say this is the calm before the storm, huh?
Yep.
Everybody is just
I mean,
their
if
tires,
I'm honest, I don't... Unless if anyone is actually on the softs, the only person who could improve for the fastest lap is DXS himself. Or maybe someone, I don't know, no, Twonk probably can't. Josh maybe can, with the... Because that fastest lap of the 1:24.5, that was set early on. Well, we're sort of midway through the race, but in the closing stages now. Cars will be running a bit lighter on fuel, and therefore taking less life out of the tyres.
The truth is, any one of these top 1, 2, 3, 6 drivers right now all have a chance at the podium and the win. Because the tires are pretty much all the same, and the guys in the front running those hard tires are going to be facing a lot of stress to the guys behind the new rubber. It's going to be a really interesting ending.
I believe the only car we're actually waiting on will be Twonk, so there is a chance the safety car can come in this lap. But will Sperrin play the team order and hold up Josh for as long as possible? Maybe even DXS with those softs. Yeah, he's going to want to overtake, but he can make life easy for himself if he just stays back. Let DRS come into play. He's got the freshest of the freshest tyres. And yeah, plenty of ERS. He's got plenty to play with. Yeah, everyone has the same amount to defend with, so DRS is going to be really crucial in these last few laps.
Yep.
I swear Björn is actually in AI, so I don't know if the safety car will wait for him. He should catch up anyway, but he did leave early on. I haven't seen him rejoin, but if he hasn't rejoined, then I won't classify him in points. I mean,
it's funny if he won the race.
I'd eat my own hair if you say I won the race. Yeah, having said that, there is a chance that Collins can still get P10.
The car in the lap. Car in the lap.
Yeah, right. Eyes on your screen, people. This is going to be a hell of a fight to the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how's Fern gonna start it?
Well, I imagine there's not a lot you can do around here apart from...
Pass.
Yeah, you don't want to floor it through this corner. Josh getting a little bit close. He's gone. Has he? No.
He's gone.
No, come on, man.
No, he's gone. Oh.
He
Yeah,
definitely
gone,
has to go. He definitely has to go now. Josh can't even overtake
Josh
until the
is on
safety
him.
car line.
Oh,
He's having a run on him. Will
yeah,
he have
he's
the
trying it.
amount of track? They're going side by side. They both make it through in one piece.
And Josh is in front. He made it. As Charlie tries it for P3 down the inside, and they're side by side. No contact.
Sverring going from P1 down to P4 in the matter of a few corners. Charlie making the move for P3, but Josh has now got the fight of his life with DXS behind. It's one thing if he finishes ahead on track with those penalties, but there's still a chance DXS can get a 5-second advantage after the steward's inquiry.
Oh,
there's almost no contesting that. That was done before he even made the corner.
He's gonna try to cut back. Turn 12,
they're all using the overtake to defend. I'd say don't do that. You can get close.
No,
no. Josh, that was very silly. Coming back on the track, I hope no one actually collects him. That may have just been a win, slipping out the hands of Mercedes. And he's down into 10th.
And Charlie's in P2, Raceway picking up Slivering right there. I mean, Swearing, sorry.
Yeah. I don't even think that I can actually penalise anyone for that. The damage is done for Josh. That's a very.
He wanted it to be a hero.
Yeah, is it a hero 0? But maybe if it was the last lap, you'd understand. But not after a fresh safety car restart.
The truth is, it was one of those things where it's, if you're silly if you don't make it, and you're a hero if you do. He risked it, and it just didn't go off for him, but.
Twonk and James scrapping for P6. Not so run ball the midfield while we wait for Charlie to catch up to DXS. Dylan 3-second penalty. James only just hanging on to his car, almost doing what Infinity and Collins did, that actually retired their cars. Dylan not having the best of time in P5. His back end sliding all over the place. He's losing time to Twonk and James, and they are ready for him. They just need a little bit of straight to stretch the legs.
Comeback drive. Oh, okay. Before the turn. The one where we give Josh.
Sensible driving from these guys now.
Poor Josh. Had a chance for that podium.
I feel sorry for him, but he only has himself to blame. Sorry, but it's true.
The race isn't over yet. He can still fight for the top 5.
Yep. Oh, he can still try.
That's fastest lap.
Yeah, he can still try and set a fastest lap. I don't think anyone's going to be able to contest that one.
Oh, as you say that, Josh, 2 seconds.
Josh is getting angry now. Oh, Twonk all over the back of Dylan, going through turn 2. DRS not activated just yet.
But you say he uses the raw slipstream. No, he won't try it.
I have to say, I think it is quite remarkable that Division 2...
now he's on the outside.
Not enough space, managed to get the door shut. Dylan actually, his racecraft is working in miracles at the minute, keeping the guys on fresher, softer tyres behind him.
Yeah. Very nice battle right now.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, 14 lap on hard. It's not actually doing too bad. Good racing.
I'd say 5 laps left in this race.
Yep. The clouds coming over now. No chance of rain, but the overcast weather actually making the track a little bit colder. So after the safety car restart, the hards would have been the hardest to actually get back up to racing temperature.
Yeah, really nice fight in the midfield for P6. Who wants the most?
Yep, the thing is, Josh has actually caught them as well. He has P5 within his grasp.
Charlie 6 tenths behind DXS as Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, he has to go defensive down main straight. DRS is enabled again.
Ooh, James a bit wide there.
I love how Reese is trying to have a battle with an AI Williams.
Whoa, Twonk is wide, and that's James taking position.
Was that by himself? Would someone push him off?
Yeah, he just put it in too late into turn 3 and went on the grass, and James said thank you and took P6.
Easily done, I guess. It's right on board with James. He's still trying to chase down Dylan after the Red Bull making life easy for him and basically getting out of the way. Josh, penalty again.
Josh.
You need, mate, stop driving angry. You're only going to cost yourself positions in the end. Right, as soon as the leaders head on the main straight, I'll ride on board with them because Charlie is easily in DRS range.
Yeah, currently with James. Really nice DRS train.
He has DRS, but he's not really able to catch. There's hardly any ERS in the top two drivers. It's going to be all down to the pure talent now. And those softs, they're easily going to go to the end. I believe Charlie's on, yeah, same old lap mediums.
James
push a little bit harder.
James is not going to try it, but
yeah,
Josh will.
Now, he will have DRS into turn 3. I'm going to ride on board with Josh, actually, kind of get a picture for everyone.
And
James is having a look, and so is Josh. James doesn't get the move done.
Twonk with the elbows out.
Yep. Josh,
yeah,
Josh still made. Yeah, oh my God, Dylan! Both rear tyres gone off the Ferrari. I don't believe that's going to be a safety car because of how late the race is. Oh no, the Williams has smashed into the Ferrari. McLaren having to slow right down. Yeah, that's a DNF for Dylan. And the Williams, the AI Williams has ended up DNFing there as well. I'm surprised that's not even a VSC.
Ooh, James on the limit. Charlie's still in 9th.
Well, at least we've got a fight for P5 and a fight for the lead. I believe Raceway might have P3 in the bag. So unless if anything happens, we've still got penalties to play and come the end of the race. We're out in the final 3 laps now. Yeah, I'm going to ride on board with Charlie because I want to see him catch up to DXS. And he went very deep, very slidey rear end on the Red Bull there. Was that James getting past?
James.
No, Josh getting past James, sorry.
But he's going to go back on here. Even with DRS open. Wait, what? Oh, he's going late. He's going to try a cut back. No.
Trying everything he can. I mean, 5th place is a very respectable finishing position, even for a midfield driver.
Yeah, but without the DNFs today, it was a crazy race, and whoever really just keeps their nose clean and have a good outcome. Charlie, 7/10. 2 more laps. Can he do it?
I'll ride on board with Charlie again when they head down the main straight and just ride on board with the fight for P5. Josh managing to get a little bit of breathing space now. He is pulling a gap to James, but Twonk is still staying with them. They're about as far spread out as they are from each other. Right, I'm going to ride on board with Charlie because I think he almost needs a miracle at this point if he's going to get past that racing point on track.
Then again, 6/10.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't want him to get comfortable with penalties, because anyone who's had a collision beyond the safety car, if it is, unless if anyone has done something majorly wrong, then we can have these 5-second penalties removed. So DXS, at this point, he could have a 5-second advantage.
Either way, he keeps on the
Charlie,
grass,
man,
and that's his hope's gone. I have to say. No, he's still in it, I'd say. DXS just got to put his head down and not make any mistakes. And he's had this race in the bag.
He's using his overtake where he doesn't need to.
He's putting all he has into it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can see DXS, he's only just got a little bit more ERS than Charlie. Right, we're heading around for the final lap. If you want to watch the battle for P6, because Twonk is actually catching James.
Yeah.
Right, on the final lap now, it's a do or die for Charlie at this point. Both cars are in severe need of some kind of electrical boost with VRS. I think the only thing Charlie can hope for now is that those, the soft tyres on the racing point actually start to degrade a little bit more. And fingers crossed it could be advantage mediums. Still not close enough. Charlie, if you're watching, mate, just don't use your overtake until the very end. Because your opponent is saving a lot more than you.
Classic Connor, helping other drivers win the race.
Well, I'm only commentating on what I'm seeing. Nah, that's a pretty healthy gap now. I doubt Charlie's even going to have DRS come the main straight.
Behind it.
Well, he started from the back end of the grid. Safety cars, strategy, masterclass. DXS is going to come across the line and take the checkered flag in Australia. He does win. Charlie does get the win on penalties.
Charlie jumps in. Oh.
Raceway. It's been a roller coaster of a ride for him, up and down all the way through the race. Brings it home in P3. Sverren brings home in P4. Josh, I don't know what could have been for him today, but it's still 5th place for the Mercedes driver. James and
Twonk jumps James on the penalties.
Yeah, Josh all the way down in P7. Just waiting for Reese to bring it home now from McLaren in P8.
Man, almost half the grid out of the race.
Yeah, since
Crazy
Björn
today.
he wasn't actually in the race, that was his AI that's got P9. Dylan will inherit P9 and Collins will inherit P10.
Exhale a bit.
Exhale.
Water, that was...
What?
Oh yeah, easy driver of the day. The XS.
Easily. Regardless of finishing position, that easily driver of the day.
He is a star. Even though Charlie got his head clean. So, probably gonna be a few conversations to stewards involving penalties, but for now...
Oh yeah, we don't know yet. I believe Charlie... and let me just have a look at the race director in the instance, because we'll be able to have a look at these later and investigate some if people want penalties removing. So all I stress now is, guys, all results are provisional until after the stewards' inquiries, but for now it's Charlie taking the win for Red Bull. Hang on, I need to go back. Yep, Charlie takes the win for Red Bull. DXS. Yep, that definitely will stand. DXS P2 fastest lap. Raceway P3 for Renault. Sverren P4 for Racing Point. Twonk P5 for Red Bull. James, really good debut. P6. Mercedes, I doubt you're going to be happy. And then P8 for Reese in the McLaren. And Dylan will inherit P9 and Collins will inherit P10 due to the Williams actually being AI for all of that race. Right, shall we get them in for a chat?
Yep, let's get Charlie and let's try to get DXS and maybe Raceway as well. Top 3.
Yep, I hope everyone's...
Also maybe Josh, if he can.
No, just the top 3 will do.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna cool down a bit. Whew. That was something, huh?
I tell you what, that was a really good watch.
Yeah. Josh, unfortunately, getting into that contact. Still a good race from him, either way. Sverren also keeping his head clean. Unfortunately, lost a bit of positions at the end there, but still a good outcome for him. Raceway kind of a silent won this race, but managed to get that final position.
Yep. Have you invited them? Just trying to have a look as well if I can invite anyone. Apologies for the blue screen, guys. We're just trying to get them in.
Okay, so we got Raceway here from Preeti in the podium. And I believe DXS is also here. Nice. Just waiting on Charlie if he can make it.
I'm sure it will, but I think he's in the party with most of the guys on the grid.
Hello there.
Hello. Just before we start, guys, make sure your microphones are always allow voice set to share. Don't know how to do it, it's party settings, then allow your voice to be shared and always allow. Alright, Charlie, if you're watching, mate, I need you to get a move on.
Okay, there he is.
Is he here?
Okay, so the top three are here. Nice.
Brilliant. Right.
Hello.
Really well done to the three of you. I'm struggling, well, I've actually ran out of superlatives at the minute to describe what I've just witnessed, but Raceway takes the race perspective, make me make sense of that race. What the hell was that?
It was a messy race.
Excellent, moving on. Now, from where you started, I'm aware that you didn't have the best of races at times, but would you say safety car definitely helped you out with strategy? Was there anything you were doing that you may have got the edge over your competitors with?
Charlie?
Yeah. Hang on.
Sorry, that was for Raceway.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, are we waiting on anyone?
Okay, can I ask a question in the meantime?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Charlie. So, early in that race, you, I believe you were the one that got that drive-through penalty, and the safe, virtual safety car, if that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, that is correct.
What was your mindset when you got that penalty? Did you think, oh no, my race is over, or did you just like head down and keep pushing?
I had my head down. I knew there would probably be another safety car coming out, so I just kept pushing. But I do actually have footage. My delta was positive when the VSC ended.
Interesting. Yep, a lot of.
So I just realised my mic was off for the whole of that thing. I just gave a lovely speech
okay.
and I realised you've not heard any of it.
I was going to say, it was sounding a bit quiet. Would you like to repeat it?
Oh yeah, just say that I got an unbelievable start. I don't know how I've managed that. I got past 2 or 3 people off the start in the first 3 corners, which is good. I'm new to league racing, so I'm a bit inconsistent. I made a bad move on carts, which I'm sure I'm going to get a penalty for. And then I tried to let Charlie through fairly early on the race, But then as I went in slow, let him through. But as I came off, I think we just touched my front right, his rear left, and we both took us off a bit.
Yeah, I think there are a few corners at Australia where, with certain moves, you almost need them done before you actually get to the corner. Otherwise, people will end up tripping over each other.
Yeah.
So
No,
on those tracks,
it was a very good race.
Yeah, it's why we love watching it.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, and our on-track P1 driver, DXS.
Yes. Hello.
I think. Do you want to ask the first question, Connor? Because
Yeah, honestly, I'm assuming that your difficulty in qualifying, it was only really with the track limits. Were you pushing a bit too hard? As I'm extremely proud of you for coming from the back, and you may have won the race or not, maybe not at the end of the timing screens, barring any stewards' inquiries, but you've done really well today. Take us through what happened in your race.
Well, okay. I decided, like, no, I'm gonna go on hards, I'm gonna go long. I thought I had the pace, because I was getting purple sectors in qualifying, and throughout the race it actually started working out. More and more people started dropping back, and I was making up positions, and once I started getting to the front and catching the front guys, my confidence was just getting more and more, and the pace was increasing, and but all the safety cars and all the virtual safety cars, I mean, my stint on the hards was cut really, really short because of that, so I was very upset about that. But good fun overtaking, nice coming through the pack, always exciting to race everyone.
okay, and DXS. So there was one moment in the race where I think right after the safety car that Josh had a run on you into turn 12, and unfortunately tried it, and it did not go his way. Any thoughts on what happened there?
Yes, he did come up. I thought he was a little bit far behind to go for it, but I decided no, I'll leave him space anyways. I tried to leave as much space as possible that I could without running wide. I'm gonna upload my onboard. I don't know what his onboard might look like, but I feel like I left him space, but if I did not, I will happily take the penalty.
Okay, that's all the questions for me. If you have anything else, Connor.
No, I have nothing to have. I'll say is thanks for you three for actually turning up. It's been a really roller coaster of emotions. I think there's been some really big highs for some people in that race, and others devastating lows. Are you all looking forward to Bahrain next week?
Yes, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes, definitely looking forward to it. I'm excited for the next race.
Brilliant.
Yeah, me too. It'll be a good one.
That's pretty
Interesting
much
tire
it.
strategies coming.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. Other things, if you're not following us on Twitter, please follow us at NHRL official. We also have a Instagram account now at NHRL_official. Subscribe to the Division 1 channel. They'll be heading out there Bahrain for tomorrow. Invites out at 7:45, and we'll be live on the Division 1 channel at 8 PM. As for the World Rally Championship, the German rally is still ongoing. Everyone knows what we need to do. Get our times in before Sunday, otherwise none of us are going to get any points. Apart from that, that's all of it from me. Congratulations to you three, and this has been a really exciting start to the season. And we'll see you next week in Bahrain.